Hey guys, Howard here from Backstage Vintage Dyes, the Dying Arts Project, and LighthouseOutdoors.com. Hey, day 5 of our auction. This is our daily reveal. However, I don't have anything to reveal because I was cleaning up a mess of cobalt blue all day yesterday. So today, I'm back at it. I have an extra large pair of yogas that I'm dyeing, and but I thought I would take a little time out, say hey to everyone, give you our daily update. We are raising money for the MS Society. We have over 30 auction items. We have bids on almost everything. Jesse just donated some wonderful jewelry. Super excited about that. I think there's already bids on that. Please folks, we're still accepting donations. This is going on until the 13th, so there's still time to do your Valentine's Day shopping or bidding, and please do so. So we're looking forward to your participation. We're going to do a tutorial today. All right, we're going to do a tutorial on a bandana. There was a few posts about bandanas, and I do some nice flowers, so I thought I'd show you how to do one or two of those flowers. But first I want to tell you a little bit about LighthouseOutdoors.com. We're putting up my tie-dyes up on that site. So if you go to lighthouseoutdoors.com and you click on Dying Arts, you're going to see my tie-dyes. We've got some leggings up there. We've got some shirts up there. These are not reproductions. These are my dyes. Danny's helping out. I'm a super busy guy, so she's loading up all of the stock of dyes that we have. And we have a lot of dyes lying around, so look forward to that, and check out lighthouseoutdoors.com. This is our new company. Danny and myself, our new company, and we have 12 Sherpa blankets still left. So if you want one of the first designed Sherpa blankets, then grab one while you can. And we're making the new design. We may be making 2 designs. Those are coming out real soon too. So we're super excited about that. Hey, let's get on with the tutorial. I'm going to show you how to make a bandana. All right, hey guys, so this is a bandana. Okay, we're gonna make at least one design here. Go pretty quickly. However, I'll try to do my best to explain. What we're gonna do is make a 12-pointed star, which is a 15-degree angle from the center all the way out to make your stars. Okay, that's where the geometry comes in. That's where the sacredness comes in. If you were to make a 14 or a 16-point star folded in half and 8 times 2, that would be a different angle. And in this case, if you make a 30-degree, you're going to have a 6-point star. If you fold it one more time to 15, it's going to be a 12-point star. So that's what we're going to do. So let's start out with a bandana that is completely open. And we're going to go ahead and fold it over just in half. Okay, so there we go. We have a folded bandana that's in half. This is my fold side. These are my open ends. Now what we're going to do is we're going to fold it over again one more time. Now, generally, I only do this because I am getting my center point. Now here is the center right here of my bandana. The very center of the bandana. This has been folded in half and then in quarters. Now what I'm going to do is fold it one more time to do a little trick. In order to get a 12-point star, you need to have a 30-degree angle to start with. And if you fold the material in half like that, actually in fourths, in quarters, you're going to end up with 3 lines. You're going to end up with a center line, a quarter line, and a quarter line. And that's going to help you guide your 30-degree angle. This is just a simple hack. So now what I've done is I've folded it back out to in half. So we are at half, and we are at the center point right here. And I should have some lines on each side that I can use as a guide. Now I can come in and I can mark them if I wanted to with my pen. But in this case, I can see it pretty well. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to pull the end that is on the folded side, not the open end here, on the folded side, and I'm going to bring it up towards the top of the material. And I'm going to try to line up my line exactly to the line that I used for my quarter line. Of course, you can measure everything out too, or you can eyeball it. You know, if you're doing this a long time and you're doing them a lot, then you can eyeball it. Okay, so now what I did was I flipped it over. I started out with a bandana that was open. I flipped it in half, folded it in half, and I'm going to keep it in half. I folded it in half again to make it a quarter so I can get my center line, and then I folded it in fourths so I could actually get a quarter line on the material to help me guide my 30-degree angle. So I pull this up as close as I can. Now I'm still on the same side of the material. Now I'm going to flip it over. Make sure that the fold is nice and neat. You can come in and tack them down if you want with some hair clips or clips, any type of clip. Now I'm going to pull this up, the other end, which is the other folded end, and I'm going to bring it to the other side, making a triangle. Now, if I have my geometry correctly, I should have a perfectly symmetrical triangle here, and that's what I have. You see, there's very little overflow on each side, and that's what makes a symmetrical mandala. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the end that is closed, okay, and I have two choices here. I could fold this side over this way, or I could fold this side over this way. Whichever decision I make, I need to do the same thing to the other side. So I'm going to fold this over and line it up very neatly. Try to keep the point, try to keep this point really pointed. And now I'm going to come in and I'm going to throw a clip in here. The great things about clips are that they keep all of your folds nicely in line, even when you're folding, when you're tying the material as well. Now come in and make sure that there's no gaps and that there's no wrinkles in there. Now we're going to flip it over one more time. Okay, so now I flipped it over one more time. I'm going to press it down really nice and tight. Okay, now I have bandana that has been folded in half. It's been folded in fourths. I went ahead and folded it one more time to give some guides so I could see the 30-degree angle. I folded it back out so it was just in half again, and then I took the end and I folded it up to the quarter line. I flipped it over, I did the same thing, and then I did one more fold over, and I end up with 1, 2, 3, 4 on this side and 2 on this side. This is a 6-point star mandala. I can go ahead and I can make a design in here, just like if you were cutting out and making those stars you made in grade school with paper. This is kind of the same thing. So you make your designs and you would have a beautiful 6-point design. But I said we were going to make a 12-point design, so let's take it one more fold. So now I'm going to take the fold that's two-sided and I'm going to fold it back over again to keep the two sides. I'm going to use my clips to keep everything in place. The material is going to want to slip forward, so what I do is I kind of learn to press it and to kind of crease it with my fingers and press it nice and neat, and then keep my point as dialed in as possible, and then clip it. Let's flip it over and do it one more time. All right. Flip it over one more time. clip it, and now I'm going to have a 12-point star mandala design. Okay, there we go. So we have 2 on this side, and we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 on that side. So that will turn out to be a 12-point star or whatever shape that I decide to do. Now let's talk about shapes really quick. When you're doing a design like this, there's a few guides to note. There's the end right here of the fabric. So when you're doing your design, if you want to get a really nice symmetrical point right at the end, then make note of that. I'll do that by I'll slip my guide way up here, and that way I know not to go beyond there. That way I'll have a design that's complete throughout the entire bandana. Okay? So I could go ahead and mark designs. We can talk a little bit about designs. I may or may not follow these designs, and when I draw out my designs, especially on my tapestries, I kind of let the tying do its own design, using the guides as just reference points. So what I would do is say, hey, if I want a really long, sharp, pointed mandala, I'm going to come up here to my top, and I'm going to draw a nice long point there. Okay, and then so now I have a point, and I'm starting to draw out that material. So I have it right there. Really not too concerned with anything up here because these are just the sides. This is the main part of the mandala. So I can come in here and I can start marking this off. If I did that, it's going to give me a smaller point. If I did a line like that, it's going to give me a circle. So let's say I wanted to do a design within a mandala and then have a circle, and then the points shooting out. Well, this is how you do it. This is how I get my circles around the big mandala. And then I usually have a circle for the dream catcher. So when you're working with material that is this small, you could use a smaller gauge sinew. I'm just used to using this sinew. So what I do is I'll grab it and I will pinch the material like that, and then I'll try to get it close, and as I'm wrapping, I'm pulling. So I'll wrap 5 times. I know it's not coming out. By the way, these are Jesse's beads. Thank you, Jesse. I love you. They stay on me. They're my kids and my wife. All right. So now I'm going to go ahead and do another wrap. And this is a little tricky as you know, just try to get a little triangle going, and I try to keep the pressure on, and I pull it straight. I pinch it and I pull it. Now you might not have that strength. You can go like that, pull it. All right, then I'm going to repeat that. I'm going to wrap it around. I'm going to try to keep it straight, and I'm going to pull it tight. And this is going to start giving my dream catcher effect. I'm going to continue this as I get farther down. I might take it to the table and give it a pull like that. And then I'll bring it up again, and I'll go ahead and wrap probably about 10 sections, 10 little triangles. Once they get bigger, I just kind of set them and put them on the ground, on the table, and pull. I've been using gloves too, and that helps. Now I'm pinching this and I'm pulling it, and I'm trying to keep the points right there as close to each other as I can. And again, when you start doing it, this is going to stray, you're going to be frustrated, but continue. Keep on doing it and you'll get it. The more pressure you keep on it as you're doing your initial wrap, the less slippage you'll have and slidage you'll have. Try to keep this straight as possible, just like that. The guides are great. The guides are, you know, these clips are great because when you're trying to tie a design like this with a fold like this, if you don't have them, then your folds are going to go all over the place. And it's just not going to be good, and you're going to constantly be trying to keep it straight. So this keeps it nice and straight. So one of the things about the Dreamcatcher is you can make a decision to keep it like really big or really small. You can run this design all the way up, and that will give you an expanding Dreamcatcher. You do a rainbow, and it's just a bitchin' design. There's nothing wrong with that design at all. I love it. I like to make them. So then I'm going to run this up one more time. And I'm going to try to keep the material nice and flat and straight. And that's going to give me the ability to put my blacks in there and have it nice and tight. All right, so I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, just about 10. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to eye it and try to do just a straight circle wrap. So there's my line right there that I did. That looks pretty good. Go ahead and pull that, make it nice and tight. I wrap these about 4 or 5 times. Now to get a point, I do a fold like this. So you have something like that, and then I bring the sinew under and I wrap it up like that, and then I bring it as close to the tight, and I get as close to the top as I can, and I pull it tight like that, and then I wrap it around, keeping it nice and tight. Then I keep it straight so the actual folds are flat. Okay, and now I have a Dreamcatcher mandala with a circle and a point. Now I'm going to make an offset design loop right there. Pull it tight. Okay, angling it up. As you see, I'm already off my design, which is fine. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to wrap this nub, and when you wrap it, what it'll do is it'll give you the ability to make a 2-color center, or a different color center of your offset point. You could do 2 wraps, 1 wraps, 3 wraps, depending on how much material you have. On the big mandalas, I'll do as many as 6. Okay, so now I have the end of my mandala. The end of my material. This is going to be a Dreamcatcher with a pointed, with a circle and a point. It's going to have an offset, and then it's just going to have one more point on it. And I'm going to just roughly follow that and pull the material and just kind of make it neat like that. There's the end. Keeping conscious of where that end is. I'm pulling it tight like that, bringing it up, pulling it tight, And then I do this trick. Okay, so now I've had this wrapped around just like this. Okay, but I want a little bit different design. So I'm going to straighten out the material. And I'm going to straighten out the point end, which is right here, and I'm going to make it more symmetrical or more flat. And then I'm going to keep it flat and pull it. What this does is it gives that really cool what's a good word to use? It's, it gives it that accordion feel. It's not really an accordion fold though, but it gives you that really cool design. So here I have the rest of the mandala. This is the last point that I'm going to have on the main design. Now if I wanted to, I could just like do all black right here, or do something crazy right there, or I could put a heart right there if I wanted to, another design right in here. I could do all kinds of things with the rest of this, or I can make it so the mandala is kind of shooting out, or not shooting out like the stars, but kind of expanding in different colors. So the way I do that is I keep this line and I start making folds to keep in line horizontally with that last point. So now I have, this is actually the last point of the mandala, but now it's starting to shoot out. And that's really it. Just wrap it up. And what we'll do is we'll give this one a reveal tomorrow along with a few other items. I have another tapestry that I'm going to be putting up. Here, you guys can watch this as I'm chatting. Another tapestry that I'm putting up. Hopefully we'll have more participation with some more donations. There's some great items there already. Super excited about that. LighthouseOutdoors.com. We have tie-dyes now. These are the HW tie-dyes. I'm slowly going from our Backstage Vintage Dyes name to the Dying Arts, and posting them on the website. Hey, so here we have it. We have a bandana that is made into a 12-point star. It's really cool. It's got a dream catcher. It's got the circle. It's got a point shooting off of it. It's got an off-center point, and then it's got a main point with designs coming off of it. What I'll do is I will dye this a color that is maybe from blues to reds, or yellows to purples, or something exciting like that, and then we'll follow it through the entire design. What I'll do is I will do another tutorial, and we'll give a dye try. So go ahead and put some dye on one of these, show you how I do that, and go from there. Guys, thank you very much. Have to run. Remember, the auction's going on until the 13th. Thank you very much for your participation. It means the world to us. We love you, and have a great day.